Attorney General William Barr is out. Does it rest at the feet of Hunter Biden, or was it more to do with personal animosity between Mr. Trump and Mr. Barr? Welcome to Liberty Nation's LNTV. I'm your host, Mark Angelides. Joining us today is Liberty Nation's Legal Affairs Editor, Mr. Scott DiCosenza. Welcome, Scott.
Hi, Mark.
Scott, what's happened to Bill Barr?
Well, he has resigned or been fired, or resigned in lieu of being fired. Take your pick. That's the very latest.
Okay, now, obviously, there's been a lot of uproar and back and forthing between the two men in recent weeks, most specifically regarding Hunter Biden and Bill Barr's refusal to let Donald Trump know that there was an investigation underway. Can you give us any insight on that?
Well, it seems like Bill Barr has behaved like a model attorney general, which is to say the reports show that he insulated the political authorities from the potential criminal investigation or actual criminal investigation into Biden. Now, that's how you would see it if, in a non-ideological perspective. Donald Trump has wanted from his first swearing the oath of office to kind of direct the Justice Department in ways that other presidents have never admitted publicly that they wished to do.
So to the outside world, certainly it does seem like Bill Barr has been the model AG in terms of following form and function of his department. But, and this is something that I'm sure many of our viewers are wondering about, you're about to have a vast criminal conspiracy investigation taking place into the person who could be the next president of the United States. And yet this was tamped down right before the election when it could have actually averted and it could have given the Democrats enough time to put another candidate in place. It seems like a dangerous ground to have a potential president-elect under investigation, well, his family under investigation.
Mark, I think it's both a dangerous position and also there's no good answer here in terms of when should an attorney general sort of bring this forward to political actors who are going almost certainly, regardless of what party affiliation they may have or even the person, for political purposes. The power of the attorney general's office and law enforcement with subpoena power and to issue warrants and conduct investigations is great doesn't even begin to cover how invasive it can be. So I take your point, but also I would hesitate to suggest that the attorney general should just simply deliver as information dumps information that only they can get because of their law enforcement bona fides, but that will be used for political or opposition research, which, by the way, of course, is something that Barack Hussein Obama and Joseph R. Biden, when they were president and vice president, perhaps and or likely did with Donald Trump.
And let's not forget Ms. Hillary Clinton and the dodgy dossier. So going forward, there's also a media
Well, I will actually
angle.
differentiate Clinton from the others because of their position as president and vice president, and their direct relationship to the attorney general is a bit different. And so I don't think that's unimportant, but also that it's a bit different when you actually work for the person who's requesting the material.
Okay, so moving on to the media angle here. I know that all of a sudden, as soon as the College of Electors is ready to meet, that the press floodgates open on the Hunter Biden story. It's almost as though they were purposely keeping it quiet. Your thoughts?
Well, these are my thoughts that aren't necessarily grounded in my education or training as an attorney, Mark. But I would just say, yeah, that they got their wish, which was they got Trump out, and now they're on the hunt for a good story. And as long as it doesn't deal a body blow to the Biden presidency, or more appropriately, actually, it's not the Biden presidency, but I think the movement for the uniparty or leftist movement, that's what it would be about. In other words, I don't think they would write a story that would be so critical of Biden that could get a Republican in office, or at least one that doesn't go along with the uniparty. And I just think that it's an entrepreneurial thing where it's like, okay, now what am I going to write about? Well, now I'm allowed to write about the Hunter Biden story, and so I will.
The recent phone call with Jeff Zucker that was presented by the Project Veritas team, talking about how they chose not to run stories because it would be a Trumplican dream for this story to run. It really does show the ideologues behind the news organizations. They're not just, as you say, entrepreneurial and doing it to cater to their market. They're actually believers. They're ideological believers, which is seems to me a very dangerous position for the fourth estate to be in.
It's no news to me, because I remember when CNN was branded the Clinton News Network, when Bill Clinton,
I believe,
shortly after Bill Clinton was inaugurated as president of the United States. And I thought then it was an apt descriptor. I haven't seen them leave that position or move off it. We have stories of them lying about bombings in, I think, Israel, with their reporters literally standing right by, and misreporting from Iraq in order to be able to keep their journalists in the place. They've argued before many times that they will choose other factors rather than truth or accuracy in reporting, rather than truth and accuracy in reporting. So it's no surprise to me. And yes, it's shameful, and people shouldn't watch it except to care about what the narratives that their paymasters are delivering, rather than to gather the news, except for perhaps the weather. I don't know if that's been so corrupted. I mean, the global warming thing has, but like tomorrow's weather or how many inches of storm, we've got a nor'easter potentially bearing down on us, Mark. So for that, it might be okay.
I would also be a little suspect of their weather forecast there, Scott, to be fair with you.
I'll double check before I put my galoshes on.
Absolutely. That's it for this edition of Liberty Nation TV. Remember to hit Liberty Nation News for original articles, The Uprising and Rabbit Hole podcast, and our signature television program, The Conservative 5. Just go to libertynation.com on your browser, or hit Rumble, YouTube, or check out Liberty Nation's Roku channel. I'm Mark Angelides. Thanks for watching. This program is a production of libertynation.com. Conservative news where truth matters.
Go deeper on the topic discussed in this video. Head on over to one of these links here, or go to our Liberty Nation Roku channel. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell for Liberty.